People get freaked out when they hear the word self. To trust self, to love self, to live from self. The reason for that is because we were so separated from self. We were separated from our conscious self by the subconscious self. We were split in half. Our self was split in half. And so now people are confused when they hear the word self. The only self that you are, that you're supposed to self-trust, that freaks them out totally. They're so alienated from their true self. The true self being the condition when your subconscious mind and your conscious mind is harmonized. You see, we are not in our true self because trauma has separated us from our core self. We were made to feel ashamed and guilty through the trauma of rejection, abandonment, ridicule, mockery. When we were ridiculed as children, ridicule especially will make you dissociate from your true self. When you're ridiculed for being you, when you're ridiculed for your ideas, you shrink back subconsciously. It's not a conscious act, it's a subconscious act during childhood that makes you hate yourself. It makes you hate the version of yourself that is being ridiculed. It signals that who you are is bad. Who you are attracts mockery and ridicule and pain. So during that stage of life, we shrank back and we buried our true and innocent self because it was not appreciated, it was not valued, and it became the norm to hide that innocent self. And we created a persona, the pseudo self that we call ego, to cover up the ridiculed self because we don't want to experience ridicule. We don't want to associate with that version of ourselves that was getting ridiculed and hurt. So we created an alter personality called ego that would people please, that would conform to other people's expectation and ideas and opinions, just so we would avoid the ridicule, the shaming, the blaming, right? Because those are painful emotions. Those are painful experiences. And so that is how your true self got hid, got buried, got sequestered away, dissociated from. And now most everyone is functioning in their pseudo self, their pseudo persona, the one that is the play actor, the one that goes along with everyone else, the one that conforms to everyone else, just so we can avoid the ridicule and mockery. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, your true self needs to be brought out of the shadows. The true self that experienced all those painful things in life needs to be brought out into the light, needs to be loved back to wholeness, needs to be nurtured, needs to be joined together with the conscious ego, to be in harmony, to be in partnership. You have to be in partnership with yourself. You have to be in relationship with that self part in order to make it whole. And that is the beautiful self, the Christ self, the whole self that can bring the entire consciousness into one. That is your God self, that is your divine self, with all the divine qualities of innocence that needs to be brought back on board, needs to be resurrected. So I hope this clarifies for you what I mean when I use the word self. Your fragmented self needs to be healed, needs to be saved. Your soul needs to be saved or made whole to live from your true essence. And that's what we want to bring back in each and every person, to find that fragment that got ridiculed and hurt and shamed. That is the self that needs all the love and forgiveness that we can give it. I hope now you have an idea of how to reconcile and rescue yourself.